Hello and welcome to episode 33 of the Geek Games podcast. I am your host Cody Tetrick alongside my friend Sam Suvak. Sam, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you doing, Cody?
Doing pretty well. We're almost done with October though, and
Your voice got real high pitched there. It's like sometimes it goes up.
It's doing great.
I don't know.
But yeah, we're almost done with October though, and I'm kind of sad about it. Enjoying our horror stuff, and we're drawing to a close.
I know. I feel like I never get enough of the horror packed into the month of October as I intend to. There's so many games that I haven't played yet. There's a ton of movies that I still wanted to watch. And I'm just like, man, it's just not going to happen. Just not enough time.
There's not. But speaking of horror though, we just had a community night for Dead by Daylight. Sam, how'd that go?
Oh my God, it was so much fun. So let me tell you guys wouldn't expect this, but I played as the killer and I slaughtered everyone. And when Cody played as the killer, he didn't get any kills. It was crazy. You guys wouldn't even believe this has happened. It's just it's amazing.
I don't remember that happening at all.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's fine.
We're on to the next one, right?
Yeah.
We got Friday the 13th coming up this Friday. So you can find us there at twitch.tv/geekcargames. We're going to be playing Friday the 13th. Sounds like we got a full party.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be great.
If we got a full party, we can go into a private match.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We can decide who's going to be Jason. And by that, I mean, I'm going to play Jason first. Just lay the hurt right from the beginning,
Yeah.
So this Friday, 26th of October, we'll be playing Friday the 13th, twitch.tv/geekcargames. Hope we find you there with us.
And if you haven't already, go claim your Friday the 13th for free on PS Plus right now. You don't want to miss out.
I think also, I don't know if it's all this month, but I've noticed they're running double XP and extra tapes are spawning in, because you can find collectible tapes that have audio stuff. So yeah, go play that while you can and get the double XP.
Yeah.
All right, and then next up, as we've been talking about lately, we have Extra Life coming up November 2nd and 3rd. We just discussed it before the podcast, and I'm actually doing 24 hours this year. Last year I couldn't really do that very much, but this year we're doing it.
It's great. You're doing it. I am not doing that. I don't have the stamina for it. So.
That's what she said?
It's possible.
Kind of?
She said, he said, anybody can say that.
We don't judge. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the people who have donated already, especially our good friend Alejandro. We want to wish a happy birthday to you. Thank you for the donations you gave this weekend. We really appreciate it. It was awesome. So if you want to donate as well, you can go to geekcargames.com/extralife. That'll bring you to our team page. You can donate to anybody of your choice. If I hit my goal of $150, I'll take my shirt off on camera.
Something's going on here. He is real eager to take this shirt off. He's any provocation, that shirt's coming off. It doesn't take much, you guys. So.
Is that not what brings in the hard dollars? We're setting up a Patreon tomorrow, I hear. And the $25 goal is that.
Hey man, if it's what the people want, you got to give it to them. So.
Good point. Hey. And then last bit of housekeeping, we're doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
So. For you Destiny fans who have not been able to do this, I earned the Ace of Spades in-game. So by doing that, I unlock the ability to redeem a code and buy a actual collectible edition of the Ace of Spades. Should say it's a 1 in 4 size, so it's about that big if you're the one watching camera.
That's what she said.
All right, you know what? Anyways, so we're doing a giveaway for this code. You're probably like, Cody, how can I win this code for this awesome collectible? So every Monday when we post a podcast, Sam here adds a nice little trailer, runs through what we talk about. So go to Twitter, geekcargames.com/Twitter. That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. Don't make me make that. Yeah. Just go to Twitter.
Twitter.com/geekcargames. And underneath that post, reply to it. Say, I'm coming home, Ace. That's all you gotta do. For a boycade. Just, I'm coming home, Ace.
And every time someone posts that, I'm probably going to start crying. So thank you. That'll be great.
I think we both will. So yeah, once you do that, you'll be entering a thing. We'll do about mid-November. and
But you're gonna let it
we'll
run
cut it
till
off.
mid-November?
Okay, end of October. What do you want from me, Sam?
I
We
was
can
gonna let
discuss
it run like
dates.
a week.
Okay, we're
Let it
right
run
around a
till
week.
like Friday.
Okay,
If you're not signed up by Friday, you're missing out. I guess people
okay,
don't always listen to the
and then
podcast right on time. Okay, let it go till the end of October. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have doubted you.
all right, end of October,
End of October.
and then
31st. It's your
cut it
deadline,
off.
people.
31st.
Yeah.
And then I'll run. We'll do the little thing where we enter all the names in and run it through a machine. If you're selected, I'll reach out to you on Twitter. So keep those DMs open. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you'll get the code. I think it's like $50 after you enter the code. So please, if you're an enter, make sure you actually have the money and want to buy this. I don't
Yeah,
want to see
just
no resellers. I'll come after you, lay the smack down like Macho Man Randy Savage always wanted me to.
my God, any excuse to bring out the glasses too. He does that.
Exactly. I can't see
So,
shit with these on. All right.
and just to clarify, you are not getting an actual item from this raffle. You're getting a code to spend your money to buy this thing, which is what Destiny does to you.
Yes.
Now, let me just state for the record too. We talked about this before. I was like, "Oh, I'll try to get it in time, and then I can give away a code." And guess who hasn't finished that quest and hasn't got the Ace of Spades? Not at all. Yeah. So
Get on it, Sam.
I
We'll
still
talk
have
about that
still have
later.
till the end of October to get that.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So it's possible. Maybe I'll be doing some strikes in my festival masks and finally get that step, but there's probably like multiple steps after that I still have to do. I don't know. Don't count on me getting that code and having an additional one. It's a one code raffle, so
Yeah. All
it'll be
right.
fine.
So yeah, that's housekeeping done. Sam, we watched some horror movies. So why don't you start it off with Malevolent?
All right, let me sum this up for you real quick. It's a boring movie. Don't watch it, okay? Yeah, this is a Netflix original movie. It's about a brother and sister who are paranormal investigators, but they're frauds. And that's what they go. They go into houses and they're like, yeah, we're clearing the spirits out. It's great. It's fine. And then they go to a house and they start actually seeing the ghosts and bad stuff happens. And the trailer looks real good. It looks real intriguing.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks really good.
Yeah, that's why I watched it, Cody. That trailer looked good.
Uh,
But then it wasn't. It was super boring until about the last half hour. Then some stuff started happening. You're like, okay, this is pretty cool. But by that point, I was so pissed that I'd spent an hour watching this boring movie that I was really not appreciative of it. I was watching it with my friends, and like I'd given some options for what we could watch, and like that was the one that they'd picked. And then I felt real bad about being the one who suggested the stinker of a movie, and I was just like, man, if I'd been at home, like I would have stopped that thing like 20 minutes in and like moved on. But I don't know. My friend Daniel said it wasn't that bad. I say it was.
yeah, I mean, to each their own. Like,
Yeah.
you may not enjoy it, but maybe they did. It's a funny story. So a similar kind of thing. In college, we would just watch horror movies all the time.
Yeah.
And so we were on Netflix and we clicked on one and it looked like it was a pretty spooky movie. Those like parody movies, kind of like Scary Movie that like the Marlon Wayans brothers and all them
Yeah.
do. It was like that, but
Wait,
like a
wait. Was it Scream If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th?
no.
Because that one's a
It was like,
gem.
oh, is it? I don't know, watch
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
It was called Paranormal something, and like
Oh, yeah.
but it was like a D-rated version of like those parodies.
Yeah.
And like, so like we're following this paranormal investigator, and like it's kind of like over the top, like hokey and stuff. And then like smash cut halfway fucking through, this turns into almost a like softcore porn movie, and I was like, what's going on? So yeah, we finished watching it, and like it was not a good movie. Like it was like I'm pretty sure at some point some girl gets possessed by a demon, and for some reason her shirt gets ripped off, and I
Yeah.
was like,
That happens.
what's happening?
That
Like,
always happens with
but
possessions.
yeah. So those paranormal investigator movies, they're hit and miss. You either get a good one or you get a really bad one. Uh,
Let me just tell you real quick. The Last Exorcist is an extremely good one. That is a similar theme. It's this guy who's like a fake exorcist, but then he
Uh-huh.
goes and real stuff is happening, and it's a fantastic movie. And it's
Okay.
filmed like a documentary.
Oh,
But yeah, that's a good one, you guys. You should go check that one out.
all right. As for me, I watched an old classic, one of my favorite movies of all time, Trick or Treat. Uh, this is the guy who also did Krampus a few years back, and it's this anthology series of different kind of shorts, but it's smash cut into a movie, and they all end up tying together. You'll probably know Trick or Treat for its iconic kind of star of the movie, Sam. He's a
Okay.
little kid in an orange jumpsuit and a sack head, um, with his signature pumpkin lollipop. Sam, you froze for me.
So did
I don't know
you?
if I'm frozen for you.
You were, but you're back now. Am I still
Okay,
frozen?
where'd you? Oh,
Oh,
oh.
apparently I'm real frozen bad for him. Do you want me to restart the
I
call?
can. Okay, we're good. Keep
Are
talking.
we good, or do you want me to restart the call?
I think we're good.
Okay.
All right, where'd you lose me?
You were talking about the kid Sam with the sack head and the lollipop sucker.
Okay,
Okay.
so Sam has this lollipop sucker. Very cool kill in the movie where he bites the sucker and stabs somebody with it. Uh, so yeah, it's like all these kind of small horror stories, and like they all like it's kind of like the tropes of horror. There's the serial killer, there's the werewolves and vampires, there's zombie kids, and like it's just like if I was going to show someone a horror movie, I think this is the movie I would show because it just encapsulates all these parts of like Halloween and horror, and like it's spooky but also fun. Like it's
Mhm.
just a fun movie to watch. Like there's a lot of cameos from actors in it. Like the girl who played Rogue in the X-Men movies,
Yes.
she's a main character in it. Um, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But there's another prominent actor I've seen in a lot of movies. Uh, and like each story, like they work their way back into each other. Like you're like, oh, the opening movie, you're like, oh shit, this got brutal. And then like by the end of it, you're like, oh, this is why it all happened.
Yeah.
And the entire like kind of point of the movie is you're learning the rules of Halloween. So like always check your candy. Always wear a
Oh.
costume. Never kick over any pumpkins.
I thought you were
Uh,
gonna say always wear a condom. Also good advice.
Also good advice. Wrap
Costume,
it.
condom, it flows,
Yeah, wrap
sis.
it. Anyways. So yeah, Trick or Treat is a fantastic movie. I think Sam is so cool. I would really like love a
Yeah,
Trick or Treat
Sam's
too.
really
But
cool. Sam's like the coolest.
all right, you know what? I would love a Trick or Treat too. I think so. I did a lot of research on this movie, and so one of the issues was as it was being wrapped up, like the marketing team behind it was like, this movie is not going to do well. Like, so they didn't promote it,
Hmm.
and then it went to the box office and did decently.
Yeah.
But like once it hit DVDs and Blu-rays, and like word of mouth came around, like
Mhm.
it's a cult classic. Like everyone loves it. Uh, and so like if a Trick or Treat 2 was to happen by the same guy who like just killed it like he did with this one, um, and they actually marketed it properly, I think it could do great. Because Krampus, also a pretty decent movie. Like
Mhm.
it's got a weird ending, but I like Krampus. I thought it was a good movie. Um, yeah, so Trick or Treat, I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a horror movie, find it, watch it, and as I said, Sam is the greatest.
Sam is the greatest. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel bad because like I am like 99% certain that I've seen this movie, but I have
Hmm.
no recollection of it, of
Definitely
things that happened in it.
go watch it
I need to
before
watch it again.
Halloween's over.
Yeah.
Just watch it all year round, to be honest. Like it's just that good of a movie.
Well, and I've kind of been craving that type of movie that I think is like that, where you kind of get that small town neighborhood vibe with like autumn and the leaves are falling and it gives you just that Halloween feeling. Like I want
Yeah.
something that's horror set in that. So that'd be good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our horror check-in for the week. All right, Sam. You've been playing a scary game, from what I understand. A couple of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
hear them.
Okay. Which one do you want to hear about first?
Let's talk about Slain? Back from hell?
Yeah. So
Alright.
this is a weird one. Like you wouldn't expect me to play this game because it's one of those bit games. I don't know if it's 8-bit, I don't know if it's
Ah,
16-bit, I don't know my bits. But it's
real
that
quick.
type of graphic style.
Eventually, we need to sit down and like actually like maybe well let's take a class. Let's go to college again real quick and learn about our bits.
I know, I'm like,
Makes you sad.
well, I've thought about this multiple times. I'm like, surely I can just Google, like, show me an 8-bit picture, show me a 16-bit picture. And I think I've done it before, but it still didn't click for me. I was like, okay. I don't know. We need some help. So if someone can
Probably.
just like fill us in, give us a
Byron's
few.
got us.
Byron's probably got us. Like, I'm
He's already
guessing
typing
Celeste
the
is.
manifesto.
I would guess Celeste is an 8-bit because it seems real low. And then, like, maybe this
See, I
Slain
would
one
guess
is
it's
a
a 16-bit.
16-bit. Oh, really? Fuck.
Yes.
We don't
I
know.
think 8-bit is like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. And then 16-bit is like those kind of older Final Fantasy games. Let me know, Alejandro and Byron, because you'll both
Somebody
fucking
let us
tell us.
know. We need help, guys.
Yes. All right,
Regardless.
continue.
Regardless, it's old school graphics looking, right? It is a side scrolling platformer hack and slash, pretty much. So, like, none of those really shout Sam, but it is a horror game, and the trailer was pretty
Ooh.
cool, and it has heavy metal music that plays while you're playing the game. And so I was like, you know what? I think it was pretty cheap, probably, or else I wouldn't have bought it. But I decided to get it and give it a go. And so basically, you're playing as some guy. And like it had this little thing where it was like explaining stuff at the very beginning, but I wasn't really paying attention because I'm a jerk. So basically, I think you were dead and you got brought back to life to go fight these demons and stuff. And so you're going through this world, and you've got a sword. Then you just kind of got a main sword attack here. You can jump, obviously, because it's like a platformer, and you've got magic. So you can just do like you've got a mana bar, and you can just do like a simple like magic ball that shoots out at enemies, or you can use up your full pool of mana and do like this explosion of magic that does serious damage to people, and that's pretty cool. You've also got a block that you can and should use. I haven't mastered it. I was real bad at the blocking. I kept trying to, kept not working. So, and you've got this like fast dodge backwards that you can do. Also real bad at that. I just couldn't get it. So but one thing that's fun, I found like there are some enemies that shoot stuff at you, and if you get your timing right, you can attack with your sword right when it's about to hit you, and you reflect it back at the enemies. So that was a real fun thing. That was one of my favorite things to do. My other favorite thing to do is when I could, there were these enemies that were tougher than the other ones, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this. So I figured out I could just like jump over it and then run away real fast and get to the next checkpoint, and then I wouldn't have to fight it. So there are some enemies that you can avoid, and that was real
Nice.
handy because, I'm not very good. There are these like instead of just like falling in a hole and dying like a platformer has, it has these like real shallow little holes, I guess, but they're filled with what looks like blood, but apparently it's some type of like acid blood because when you fall in it you just like kind of disintegrate and die immediately.
Oh
So
God.
it's like falling in a hole but worse.
Yeah.
But this game has pretty good checkpointing, I would say,
That's
because
good.
it's got these little light posts, and anytime you pass a light post, it will refill your health and your mana. So that was literally a lifesaver for me, because as you might know, I'm not good at this game, so I died a lot, and I needed all the health I could get. But it was really fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I think part of it is the music. It like gets you having a good time. The monsters look pretty cool for that graphic style. And it kind of reminded me of like I played a game called Forbidden Forest on the Commodore 64 way back when. And so it kind of had a similar feel to that and got me just a little bit nostalgic for it. But I mean, if you like that sort of game, I'd say it's a really fun one and you should go check it out. I was having a good time with it until I'd probably been playing maybe 30 minutes, and I got to just this one room where you have to do some jumping and then avoid the things shooting fireballs at you, and then there were these flying things that were coming too, and you had to like keep going up and activating a lever to get the elevator to go higher up. And I think I spent like another 30 minutes just in that room trying to get past it, and I could never get past it because I just kept screwing up and like getting hit by things and falling in that acid blood. So then I got real angry. Cody, you were with me. You were on the
Oh,
party chat
yes.
with me when that was happening, and I got real mad. And I was like, I'm done. I can't play this anymore, which is unfortunate because I hate when a game is just like too hard and I can't like. Well, I'm sure if I
Yeah.
put in the effort, I could eventually get through it, but I've got so many games to play. I don't have the time or the willpower to put in the effort for something that I'm not like super into. But like if it had been a little bit easier and I could have like kept going, then I probably would have kept playing it for a while because it was really fun. But yeah, that's my review of Slain. If you like those kind of games, you should check it out because it's fun.
Do you know if it is on the Nintendo Switch? 'Cause I know you were playing on PS4.
I
I'm gonna look that up.
You should look that up. I mean, it would be a great game for the Switch. Um,
Yeah.
but like I just bought it because it was on sale, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So be in a sale.
All right.
Yeah. Cody, what have you been
Can't beat
playing?
a sale. So I have returned to the darkness. I am playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Um,
Real
I
quick,
should
I
say,
just need to interrupt. I need to know like what are the warning signs that I need to look for, like when you've become too enthralled with Call of Duty? Like how do I pull you back out if this happens?
um, luckily I haven't got there yet. But
Okay.
if you see me on it for multiple days in a row, you might want to call a doctor.
Okay.
Um, so if you have not heard my backstory of Call of Duty, um, I started playing Call of Duty around Modern Warfare 2, and I played it all the way till Black Ops 2 was the last one I really like. Kind of was like, all right, after this I'm done. Um, so that was a good number of games. And I gotta say, like, I don't know, like maybe I just changed as a person, and like Call of Duty's stopped being my thing for a very long time. But coming back to this one, god damn, am I having a good time with this game? Like, I don't know if they just kind of like finally got something right here.
Yeah.
Um, because they gave out Black Ops 3 earlier this year for free.
Hmm.
Um, and I had some fun with it because like they introduced these specialists and they kind of have like abilities, almost like in Overwatch, how your like Tracer has her blink and stuff, and then she gets an ultimate, and that's kind of what these specialists are. They're like characters who get an ultimate or have a special ability. And so I was like, all right, like I like this. This is pretty cool, and I feel like Black Ops 4 expands on that in a good way. Um, this is the first Call of Duty to never have a single player, so I was like, all right, cool. I didn't really play the single player campaigns that much, anyways. Like, Black Ops 2 was the last one I played, but it's only because it continued the story from Black Ops 1, and I enjoyed the story of that one. Um, and in I guess Black Ops 3 they continue the storyline a little bit, but in this one, when the game starts, there's a cutscene, and they're still keeping threads from the other Black Ops games alive in this. Like the original character who was your hero in Black Ops 1. His last name is the name of a character that dies in this cutscene. Like that's kind of their story thing. Um, I do think you do get some story through like learning. You can run like time trials almost with all the specialists, and you do get some story through that. Like you learn like why they've been called together and why these are your specialists. Um, and so I have played all the modes, which is multiplayer, Blackout, the new battle royale, and the zombies mode. Um, so Blackout was kind of the main reason I bought it. I think it controls really well. Uh, I've heard it compared to as it is PUBG looking, but feels as smooth as Fortnite does, and I would agree with that. Like it's like Fortnite is cartoony, uh, and PUBG is like realistic, and H1Z1 is realistic. But like it's really good graphics
Hmm.
instead of like in PUBG is not bad looking, but like it hasn't got the polish
Yeah.
that a Call of Duty game does. Um, this is also, to my knowledge, the first person battle royale. which changes things because you kind of get used to that third person over the shoulder, like always being able to look around you view. I'm sure there's other ones
I'm
like you can
pretty
play PUBG
yeah,
in first person,
yeah,
um, but like you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage if you do that.
yeah.
Meanwhile, this one you're always first person. Um, I think there's a lot of cool elements in the game, like it's not just guns you're picking up off the floor. You can pick up healing stuff, equipment. Like my favorite equipment is the grapple gun because you can get flying with that son of a bitch. Like if I'm in a gunfight and I'm like, all right, I need to reposition, I just turn, shoot, and I'm gone. Like that person doesn't even know where I went. Um, I think the best I've done is I got third place in a squads game
Yeah.
where they spawned me in with only one other teammate, just me and this other dude, and we got third. So I was pretty proud of
Nice.
myself there. I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Um, I will say, I the zombies. Okay, so in we've talked about this before. They like have zombies on the map.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really see the point of doing the zombies because like you can kill the zombies and like they'll drop some stuff. Like if you kill them, they'll drop like a med kit. Like or you kill them, oh they'll drop one of the zombies' guns. But like you really can just wait around and like I've seen people die to them. So I mean they're kind of useful to use as like uh fodder almost for killing other people. Um, but I feel like they're just kind of there and they don't add anything to it.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there. And so that's kind of sucks. I feel like they could have incorporated something more into that.
Well, are the weapons
Um,
that you get from killing them like really good weapons, or is it worth it?
yes, because there's one, it's like a dual-barreled LMG, and it's pretty accurate. It
Yeah.
comes with its own sight, so you don't have to like go find a sight for it. It
Yeah.
just comes with the sight, and it's a pretty good sight. Um, but like, I also just don't know how they spawn because like
Mhm.
I've landed and they've already been there when I spawn, and other times I'll like land somewhere else, walk over, and there's zombies there, and I don't
Yeah.
understand how they spawn. So maybe I just need to learn a little bit more about it. Um, I think it's a lot of fun. Uh, my issue is that I do wonder, like, I know it sold amazingly well. I think there was a report it sold 500 million copies.
Yeah.
Um, I do wonder how many people bought it just for the battle royale.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna keep playing it and see how I do. It's fun. Like I've enjoyed it. I streamed it for an hour the other day. Um, rocket launchers are overpowered because they can track vehicles, and I was in a boat with three other people, and the rocket launcher hit
Oops.
us and killed us. Because I was like, "Oh, let's get in this boat. We'll go to that island. We win." No, that rocket launcher destroyed us. Um, so yeah, Blackout's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'd like to get in there with some people, because like communicating with random people doesn't
Yeah.
go the best sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, also, I'm really just tired of 10-year-olds telling me they're having sex with my mother. Like it's um, the multiplayer.
Wait, real quick. How do you rank like the battle royale? Like, what is your preference for battle royale games these days now?
This is funny because I actually played Fortnite right after.
Yeah.
Um, I honestly think Blackout is my favorite.
Nice.
Because I feel like my issue is Fortnite has changed so much with all the new weapons and stuff, but
Hmm.
they've never actually like stopped to be like, we should probably like fix our shooting mechanics. So like they just keep adding stuff, but they're
Yeah.
not fixing like how shotguns work, how
Yeah.
bloom is affecting assault rifles and stuff. So I think I prefer Blackout at this point. And then like I didn't play enough PUBG to give a solid
Yeah.
opinion on it, and then H1C1 was
Yeah.
all right.
It's fine.
Um, speaking of Fortnite, real quick, detour. Played that Disco Domination, Sam?
Yeah.
Sucked.
Really?
It's okay. Like the dancing on top of the point is cool.
Yeah.
The matches last 30 minutes.
That's long.
That's a very long time for one match.
Yeah.
Because what happens is like they spawn multiple dance floors
Yeah.
and like it's kind of like on 50-50 there's like the two
Yeah.
buses and there's that center line and
Okay.
it's like oh like the center line's where the maps like split up. So they'll spawn like one or two on your side and then there's like two to three in the middle.
Hmm.
So like it's like okay, go capture those two, then we go fight for the middle ones. Um, but they stay captured, and as the storm moves in, so those first two that are like on your side are always gonna be yours, unless it's really gun ho and can go get them.
Yeah.
So you're really just fighting over those three,
Yeah.
and at some point, like you just kind of like one team starts rolling. Like
Yeah.
we eventually just got like six of them to their one, and
Yeah.
it was just a steady stream of points we got. But
Yeah.
it still took like 30 minutes,
That's
and
crazy.
honestly, I just ran around and looked for cool stuff to use. Like they have like a plunger gun that's a grapple gun. Not as fun as a Call of Duty grapple gun.
Yeah.
It's actually called the Grappler, I think.
Okay.
Um, it's all right. My favorite part is they have an ice trap now. And if you
Okay.
walk over the trap, you get ice blocks on your feet, and you just start sliding. So someone put these at the top of a hill, and we just went, and it was so fun. Like I was
That's
like, oh god, this is
awesome.
fun. I like this. But other than that, yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know. Fortnite's just a
Fair enough.
um, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. That's what we're
Okay.
gonna
Yeah.
talk about.
Multiplayer.
The multiplayer. A lot of fun actually. Like I was pleasantly shocked by this. I was like, man, I'm gonna hate this. Um, but I think the specialist classes really do add something. The new mechanic of like having to heal yourself instead of just constantly regenerating health actually makes me play more tactically, and I think it
Mhm.
makes other people play more tactically. So it's not this constant running gun. I got a submachine gun. I'm going to win the match. Um, I
So
have
do you have
played.
like a heal yourself that will be on a cooldown, or do you have to go pick stuff up that will heal you?
You have a heal. Your L1
Hmm.
as a heal.
Okay.
Um, and you can actually, it's like you can have a regular heal, and like it takes like 3 seconds to come back.
Oh, okay.
And it heals like over time, kind of
Yeah.
like a rate. Or there's like an equipment you can equip
Hmm.
that will make it heal like instantly, and it like just flies up, but it's on a
Nice.
longer cooldown, so you're
Yeah.
kind of paying like, okay, I want to be in the battle, stuff like that. Um, I've played Domination. Um, got destroyed because they brought back a lot of old Black Ops maps, like
Yeah.
Black Ops 1 and 2 maps. And the issue with that is those maps were not very good for certain things. Domination is one of them. So I got put
Yeah.
on one, and it was a steamroll for the enemy team. So I was like, all right. The main mode I've been playing is called Control.
Yeah.
This is their new mode that they introduced in Black Ops 4. So there are 2 points. You have a set number of lives on both sides, and you're either attacking or defending. And it's almost like Overwatch, where if you capture like a third, you get a tick.
Hmm.
So you just gotta get two more ticks. And so I like that. Like it feels like I'm playing Overwatch in a way, but with Call of Duty people. I think my favorite specialist so far is Nomad because he gets the dog. That dog
Okay.
destroys. He also gets a thing called a mesh wire trap where he can like shoot bomb into one wall, and then you can line up another bomb, and it has a tether. And so if the enemy team walks through it, they're tripping a wire and
Hmm.
it explodes.
Nice.
People don't look for those things at all. So I have gotten like
Yeah.
quad kills with them because they're like all bunched up and they run in
Yeah.
and it's boom. The dog is really good.
Does the dog have a
Uh,
name? Is it just dog?
I think it does. Like, because I think he says like, "Hey," and he says a name, but like I don't have my subtitles turned on. I need to,
Yeah.
because I kind of want to hear stuff or read
Yeah.
stuff that's being said. Because the specialists have like lines between each other. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure. Um, I think it's Torque. He's an Irish dude he's the Irish guy I was telling
Uh-huh.
you about when I was playing. Um, I don't know what his R1 does, like his like kind
Uh,
of regular ability, because I never used it. I think it's like a flame shield that shoots flames out,
that's
and you can
cool.
like walk forward with it. But his like super almost is this barricade you put down, but the barricade shoots out like microwave waves, and they slow and like hinder people that walk in front of it. And you place that down in front of a doorway, and people just run into it and don't realize what's happening to them. Um,
Nice.
I used that one on Control, and I actually got in Call of Duty you get kill streaks.
Hmm.
And like it's like a 3 kill streak is like a UAV, fourth one is like a missile, and then like a seven is like you summon a helicopter. Somewhere around like Black Ops, the end of Black Ops 2, I stopped being able to get past like a 3 kill streak. Like
Yeah.
I'm just there to capture points and maybe get 1 or 2 kills. got me a helicopter with torque, so I felt pretty good about
Nice.
myself. Um,
Tell me about the
I also,
girl with the pink mohawk.
okay, so Battery is her name. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has a mohawk, and like you can change the color of it
Oh,
apparently.
sweet.
Super badass. I like her a lot because her regular ability is a cluster bomb grenade. So you throw that thing, it explodes. You're like, all right, it's done. No, it shoots out more bombs, and they fuck people up, and they stick to people so that there's a clip on my Twitter of me killing a dude, turning, chucking one of those things. It sticks somebody, they explode, kill him, and the clusters roll up on somebody else, kill him. And I was like, oh, I like this.
Nice.
Um, and then her super is she gets like a grenade launcher that's like a one-hit kill if it like even is remotely close to you.
Nice.
Uh, so those are kind of the main three I've kind of messed with.
How many
They're
of them
kind of
are
my
there?
go-to. I want to see 10
Okay.
or 9, somewhere around there. I think I
Okay.
want to say 9. And you can only have one per team.
Mm.
So at least in the modes I was playing, I'm not sure if there's like a big team battle where like you can have multiple of the same one. That would make more sense, I guess. Um, I think overall the game mode's pretty fun. I do think there are some maps that are like not balanced properly,
Yeah.
just because like this you can get spawn camped pretty easily. But Call of Duty's always had that issue, so I'm not
Yeah.
that hindered by it. Um, I think I'm going to keep playing it. I'm having a blast with it. Like both Blackout and multiplayer are a lot of fun. Call of Duty
Zombies isn't
Zombies.
worth mentioning, or
I'm getting there.
okay.
Uh, so Zombies came with World at War, which is my favorite Call of Duty of all time.
Okay.
Uh, Probably. It's like a tie between that and Modern Warfare 2. Um, and like it's just a fun horde mode where zombies are coming at you. You gotta like be smart, like be tactical, stuff like that. I've played it throughout all the Treyarch games. Um, and so this one has like a different story going on. And I was a little confused. So I got put on the map called Nine, and this is the Coliseum map, where you're like all dressed up in like Roman gladiator stuff, and like one dude's just a witch doctor and stuff. So I got put as the French guy. I want to say his name is Paul something.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if they did this in the last Call of Duty. So they've introduced like abilities you can use, and like you almost have like a class almost. Like you could be a healer, or I picked the Berserker because as a Berserker, I got to pull out pretty much Thor's hammer and
Nice.
just start swinging, and I was having fun. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of like in a way like Killing Floor,
Yeah.
where the Berserker and that can has a hammer.
Hmm.
But like I would hit somebody, it would chain lightning to the next one.
Oh, nice.
Um, and so like in like it's on like a cooldown where you gotta kill stuff to build up the bar. Um, got to like wave 13 in that. And like they give you like challenges to do. Like it's
Hmm.
like there's like a really heavily armored zombie. It's like, oh, kill like 10 of these. Well, there's a round where you only face armored zombies.
Yeah.
And so I saved my hammer for that round because it's like a 3 hit with the hammer, so I would just start swinging. Um,
So
I
the
think my
hammer
biggest
only
complaint,
lasts for a little while?
yeah, like it's like on a like it only lasts
Okay.
about maybe 15 seconds, so you kind
Okay.
of got to just go run around swing. It was useful. I killed like an entire wave by myself pretty much while my teammates went down. I think
Nice.
my biggest complaint overall with that was just like I had no idea what was going on. Like they were referencing stuff
Oh,
that I
okay.
just didn't understand.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if it's because I played the wrong map. Like maybe I should have played
Mhm.
another map first to show like where they came from, or if there's a trailer I
Did
missed.
you get to pick the map, or did it just put you in one?
I think you can pick it. I think I just clicked on the first one I saw
Okay.
because like, oh, this must be what they want me to
Okay.
play. Only other big complaint, I had some 15-year-old who wouldn't stop yelling at me to let him get headshots, and it's like, bro, I'm just killing stuff. Like, that's what we're here to do. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Um, but it was fun. Like,
Yeah.
it's zombies. It's not like I've never been big into it. Like, I know
Yeah.
there's like people who are diehard zombies fans. More into for the Blackout and multiplayer. But overall, like, I am shocked at how much I'm enjoying this Call of Duty. Like, it's a lot of fun. It's something I could see working into my rotation of games next to Destiny. Um,
I mean,
Uh,
that's a big accomplishment these days.
it is, it is.
So
So yeah, overall, 2 thumbs up to Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Good
nice.
job. Like, it's it's crazy to think that I'm like actually excited to play a Call of Duty game. Like, I didn't think that would ever happen again. Like, for backstory, last year I got into the Call of Duty World War II beta, and I streamed it. And I was like, oh, I'm really excited. Like, this is going to be my Call of Duty return because like I love World War II.
Yeah,
It's my favorite time in history, pretty much. Like, not favorite. Okay, like it's just my
just
favorite
the
to
most
learn about.
interesting time
I
period.
don't,
Yeah,
yeah, no, no,
yeah.
no, I don't know none of that. My favorite weaponry is like from there.
Mhm.
So I was like, this is my game. God, did I hate that? Like, I remember I was like, guys, I'm done. Like,
I
I can't
remember
play
how
this
much you
anymore. Like, I
hated
don't.
that.
Like, everyone was like, I'm so sorry, Cody, you don't enjoy this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's like my fault. Like, I had too high expectations. So like, I'm pretty happy with this new one. It's looking pretty good. I'm boring Sam to death over there. Apparently, she's yawning. Um,
We're kind
I
of
have to
late
call you out.
tonight. We're a little bit late tonight. I had a
We
long
are.
day at work too. That's all that is. I love your Call of Duty talk. It's great.
Why don't you tell me about some Dead Space 2? Because I'm excited for this.
Oh my God, Cody, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so I've got to rectify an error here because when we did our top 25 games of our lives, I just completely failed that because I didn't think about Dead Space at all. It didn't have a spot on my list, and it definitely should have. I don't know that it would have been Dead Space 2, it might have been Dead Space 1, but one of those games definitely deserved. It probably would have been in the top 15. But that's fine. That's fine. The point is, Xbox Games with Gold had both Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3 as free games in the last few months. And so I'd claimed them and I was like, you know what? I want to play something scary for Halloween. And I remember the Dead Space games being super scary. And I could have gone back to my PS3 and played the first Dead Space, but I was like, then I'd have to play on my PS3. So I just decided to go with Dead Space 2 because I remember that one being fantastic as well. And I made it was a good decision. It was a real good decision. The game has a little cinematic that you can watch that's a recap of the first game to get you back up to speed. So that was handy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's real good. And then you start this one off and you're playing as Isaac Clarke, the same guy from the first game. You're in a space station on Saturn now, and the game starts and you're in a straitjacket because apparently you've been like kind of in a mental institution. Like the military guys have been talking to you, trying to get some information. I don't know. But bad shit has happened. The necromorphs have come to the Saturn space station and they're running amok. So basically, like, you get up, you get out of your cell, you're running around in your straitjacket, you can't do anything but run, and there are like people getting eaten by these necromorphs. They're coming at you, you gotta like try to dodge. Some of them are smacking you around a little bit. So it's a really intense like first scene, and it's really exciting. And then you get into it and you get the plasma cutter as your first weapon. And one of the things that's really cool about Dead Space is the shooting feels really good in it. And a lot of times, like in your horror shooters, like I love me some Resident Evil, but like the shooting never felt great in it. Like, but it feels really good in this one. You end up getting really cool weapons. So like the plasma cutter that you start with, like pretty much through the whole game, I usually keep that one with me because it's such a versatile weapon and so good to use. I eventually got my flamethrower, which is super handy to have. That's one of my favorites. There was a fun one called a Ripper that's like a circular saw, and what you do is like you pull the trigger and it like shoots it out, and it's kind of like on a
Oh,
tether, so it kind of hangs out
yeah.
there for a second, and then you can push the other button and it'll like launch the blade, so you can use it as a distance weapon too. And then I use the pulse rifle, which is pretty much just a machine gun, just good for some crowd control. And then my other slot, I've kind of been trying some different stuff out, but I finally got the contact beam one, and this is one where you like charge it up and then it just shoots this real powerful blast and just like explodes enemies. So it's a good one to have. What this game does so well, it just like sets the environment and like the sound effects. So like the first time I was playing these games, were on the Wii and the PS3. So like headphones weren't an easy option, and it never even occurred to me. But this time I'm playing with the headphones, and it is so great. There's nothing better than a scary game played through your headphones, and you just like hear these things like happening in the walls or like the ceiling above you. Like you're walking around, it's dark, you're running into stuff, you're like, please stop making noise because you're afraid stuff's gonna come find you. This one, okay, bad stuff has happened, so like the power's out a lot, so there's like low light situations, or sometimes you're in like almost complete darkness and you just have to use your flashlight. And you have a run ability, but you can't run and have your flashlight out at the same time, so it really encourages you to like go slow and like keep your flashlight out so you can like see stuff that's coming at you. The necromorphs, the monsters that are here, they are such great designs. They're people that have been mutated into these alien-looking creatures after their death, and most of them have like these long, sharp limbs now that like, you know, will stab at you. And like you normally in a game, you know, you shoot for the head to take an enemy out. That doesn't work here. You have to dismember their limbs and get those off. So what's cool, oh my god, I didn't even remember that half of this stuff that was in this game, but one of the abilities you get like this glove that has this kinesis power, so you can use it to like telekinetically like pick stuff up, or I guess maybe it's just magnetically, whatever. You're using like a special ability to like pick stuff up and you can throw it. So like you can cut off a monster's arm and then use your kinesis to pick it up and then chuck it back at the monster to like finish it off, which is really cool.
Nice.
Because like when you before you even get your weapon, like you get your kinesis glove, and so like there are these like spikes on the ground, and you just have to like pick those up and fend off the monsters until you get like a true weapon. And then you also get you get a stasis ability, where if a monster's running at you, you throw out your stasis beam and it'll freeze it in place. And so then you can like just chop its limbs off while it's frozen. And of course it's not like frozen for a real long time. It's like a short time. You gotta act fast, and you've only got so many charges on your stasis before it'll slowly recharge over time, or there are different areas where you can like get a little charge up on it. But yeah, so it's just got so many different options for how to play. And like if you were playing on a harder level where it was like ammo was scarce, then like you'd need to use some stuff more frequently, and that's where you'd have to like make use of other enemies' limbs to work with stuff. Yeah. I'm playing on super easy, so like I don't have a problem with ammo. There's like tons of ammo everywhere, which is great for me because like, you know, I don't want it to be too hard, but still like there'll be times where there'll just be like a horde of enemies coming at me and I'm like, there's some freaky enemy types, because there's like the regular ones, right? Then you got your explodey ones like normal. You're on like a station where there were children and stuff, so then you get these little children-sized monsters.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and they always come like in a pack at you, and so those are freaky.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, and then like the real sad thing is like sometimes there's baby ones too, and the babies will like crawl at you, and it's terrifying. Yeah.
I need to play a Dead Space game. This sounds awesome.
God, it's so good. Like this game, it's like I like a jump scare. I like getting scared. I don't like scream like but like something to startle me and I'd be like, oh, you know? Yeah. And then like I've been yelling at this game like so much. Like I'll walk into somewhere and then like all of a sudden all the lights will go out and I'm like, God, are you kidding me? Come on, dude. And then like monsters will be coming at me and I'm like, fuck you, you're gonna die. And I get like really into it. There are these ones that they kind of remind me of ostriches, because like I don't think they have too big of like upper arms, but they've got big long legs, and they like poke behind scenery and like look at you, and then they like run at you really fast. So like I'd picked up a like stasis jar that I could throw at it, and I was like ready for it, and I was like, come at me, bro, I'm gonna get you. And I'm like, did I just say that to the video game? I'm like, yeah, I'm getting real into this game. And I remember back like when I first played the games, like I remember being so tense, just like waiting for stuff to like jump out of the shadows and get me. And this time I haven't been tense, but I have noticed that like my hands will get really sweaty on the controller, and
Oh yeah.
that doesn't usually happen when I'm playing games. So like this one's still getting to me, and like every time every time I go to get on an elevator, I'm like, all right, I don't know, something's gonna be in this fucking elevator. I got my gun aimed, I'm ready to go. Like 4 or 5 chapters, ain't nothing in that elevator, and then finally, like you open it up and there's something in the elevator. I'm like, I've just been waiting for it. I knew you were gonna put something in that elevator to get me. And then I remember there were these certain types of vents on the wall that sometimes enemies would jump out of. So like now every time I go into a room, the first thing I do is like if I see any of those vents, I shoot them out. Because like I don't know for a fact, but I think that if you shoot it out, then nothing's going to jump through it later. Because there have been
Ah.
some that I missed and then an enemy jumped out of them. So I'm like, gotta clear those freaking vents, man. But yeah, it's just like it does such a good job of keeping you scared, keeping you on your toes, keeping you nervous about like what's around the corner, and just like the sound effects. You'll be walking around and you just like kind of hear this like alien groaning like in the walls somewhere, and you know it's gonna come get you. And then it just does weird things. Like I was just there's a lot of like a residential sector that you have to go through, and you're exploring the rooms, you like picking up all the stuff that you can get from it. Like probably like 70% of the time when you've been in a bathroom and you walk out, like the toilet will flush automatically, and
Oh
like it
god.
just scares you because like you're not expecting it and you're like, oh, you should know that, and then like you get used to it and you walk out of one and it doesn't do it and you're like, oh, this game. What?
Some would say it scares the shit out of you.
I approve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I mean, it makes me want to go back and play Dead Space 1 again because I remember loving that one. I'm sure it was probably like the better one, but I just can't remember because I haven't played it in so long. What were you gonna say?
Why? What's is there some hate for Dead Space 3? Like you're just not talking about that one.
Well, I was
Like why
about to
not?
say, I hated Dead Space 3 when I played
Okay.
it. But now that I'm thinking back on it, I am pretty sure the reason why I hated it was because it was too hard for me. I remember
Okay.
getting to a part and there were these enemies that like you would shoot them and they'd go down, but then like they would regenerate, so you couldn't ever
Mhm.
really kill them. And like I just remember having a hard time with that, and I think I just, got mad because I didn't know how to get past that because it was too hard for me. But I
Yeah.
feel like, I've said I've gotten better at video games just in
Yeah.
general. So I definitely would like to try that one again and, see if I like it better this time around, because I feel like it would probably still be pretty good. Because it's like the same kind of setting. I remember like things felt the same on it. I think it's just that it got to be too hard for me. So, but yeah, I recommend the Dead Space games, you guys. They are some of the best horror games out there. And, this came out, oh, I don't know when it came out, probably at least 5 years ago. It's quite a while.
I think
Quite a
it
while.
was quite a while because Dead Space 3 was like
Yeah.
2012.
Okay. Yeah, this is probably maybe 10
This
years
is
old. Um,
yeah.
it plays so well, like still, like you can't tell that it's a previous generation. I can't tell that it's a previous generation game. Like it plays that well. Like they did such a good job with it, so I feel like it definitely still holds up. So if you've got it from your games with gold, give it a go. If you don't, it's worth the investment if you want a really fun horror shooter game that's going to scare you and creep you out. Yes.
All right. So yeah, Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we're gonna do a quick Destiny report. Wait, hold on. What's that, Jim? Oh, we're not calling it a Destiny report anymore. What are we calling it? The Destiny Dynasty? What?
What?
No, that makes no sense. Diagnosis? What? Oh, the Destiny download. Oh, we're calling it Destiny download. I'm fine with that. We
Okay.
can do that. All right, Jim, our guy on the sounds and boards and all that. So we're calling it the Destiny download now.
I
So the
like it.
Festival of Lost is here. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's your
Alliteration. It's
porch.
good. It's fine.
Alliteration. Yeah, it's what Jim wants. So
Hey,
Jim gets what he
he
wants.
does.
So Festival of Lost is here. With it comes the Haunted Forest activity. New masks to get from Amanda Holiday and stuff.
Well, these
Um,
are the first masks in Destiny 2, right? We didn't have
yes,
masks
yes,
when
no, yeah,
we haven't done Festival of Lost previously in Destiny 2.
yeah. Um, so Sam, what are your? Have you stepped into the Haunted Forest yet?
Yeah. Um,
Okay, I wasn't sure.
yeah. No, yeah, I did. Um, I love it. Oh, I love everything about Festival of the Lost so far. From the moment you go into the tower, which I'd seen pictures of how it was decorated, and it's fun and I like it. But they're doing really fun things with sound effects at the tower.
Oh yeah,
So there's a creepy little song that'll play sometimes. Also, there's like a little snippet song that plays when you're about to land at the tower that's really fun
yeah.
too. And then as you're going around, sometimes it'll be quiet for a while, and then you'll just hear sounds like there's like this yowling cat. There's, I think, a howl, some type of moan that happens, but there's just really fun sound effects
There's
that
a witch
happen.
laugh.
Yeah, like a
Witch
cackle.
like laughs. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Um,
so that's a lot of fun. Um, the first mask you get for free is Master Rahul. I don't know if I'm
yeah.
saying his name right. And it's creepy as all get out. I mean, he looks
Oh
like a
yeah,
normal guy when you look at him, but this mask is weird looking.
yeah. Um, I actually bought the Colonel mask
Is
for
that the
Bright
chicken?
Dust from yes, the chicken.
Yeah.
Um, that's what I've been wearing because I was like, I don't Master of Wool, whatever. I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
the Colonel.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like I'm enjoying it. I think so this is different than how they did it in Destiny 1. In Destiny 1 it was legitimately just stuff was for sale for real
Oh,
money
okay.
and like you
Oh.
couldn't earn engrams. So like now we can earn engrams to get some of the new stuff. But then also I think the Haunted Forest is a really cool activity.
Yeah.
It's nothing like game changing, but it's fun. Like I'm enjoying it. I like going in there and doing it. So what the Haunted Forest is it's utilizing the Infinite Forest from Curse of Osiris. And you go in and it's pitch black and your ghost is on your shoulder with its flashlight out. And it's kind of like a time trial where it's try to beat as many waves of enemies
Hmm.
um, and bosses as you can before 15 minutes is up.
Yeah.
Um, and like you're probably like, well, why would I do that? Like, is there a reward? So
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
get these soul fragments, and with the soul fragments, you had to get about a 120, I think it is,
Uh-huh.
to buy a new auto rifle called the Horror Story. Uh, awesome. Or you can use it to buy other masks, and
Yeah.
like there's a Shaxx mask, there's a Gaul, there's one for the Jade Rabbit,
Yeah. It's
which
weird
is kind of
looking.
punk rock looking.
There's a
Uh,
Petra Vange one, so you can like get her.
yes.
She looks really cool.
There's all kinds.
Yeah.
There's also like different triumphs in the game right now
Hmm.
and two of them will reward you an emblem. Um, one of them is for getting to the seventh floor of the Haunted Forest, and one is for defeating 100 nightmares. They're
Okay.
both pretty cool looking. They're like spooky looking. And I think if you do all the triumphs, you get a shader unlocked. I'm not a big fan of the shader, so I wasn't that like I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to get
I
it,
think I
but
was.
I'm not like dying to get it. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and like there's still more to come. Like
Yeah.
on the 30th, we have a mystery to solve, and everything pertaining to this mystery is sounding really good. But we don't talk spoilers here
Okay. Okay.
because this is a little bit of spoilery. But yeah, everything pertaining to that mystery on the 30th, I'm looking forward to. Um, so yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's here till first week in November, I want to say. Um,
Cool.
So yeah, 3 weeks of just doing this. And the only issue like is this week there is so much to do. There's Iron Banner,
Yeah.
Festival Lost. Uh, for me, there's the Shattered Throne dungeon, which I want to try to solo, um, for an emblem, and I'm a madman for wanting to do that apparently.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like there's just so much to do, and I'm like, I can't do it all. And then like I'm still trying to grind out Gambit, and uh, I'm loving that like Destiny is back in full swing and
Yeah.
like there's always something for me to do. Like it's a few months ago when I was like, man, I just really want to play an MMO. Destiny is now scratching that itch for me.
That's awesome.
You were gonna say something?
Um, Yeah, I was, but I don't recall what it was now. Um, I don't know. I will say I was excited to buy some masks. Like I was like, yeah, this is gonna be great. And then I realized that I need those 120 soul fragments for Horror Story. And Horror Story sounded cool just because it's a gun called Horror Story. And then I
Yeah.
read the thing and realized that it's a variation of Origin Story, which is one of my
Yeah.
favorite guns. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I
Oh.
really need to get that one. So now all my effort is gonna be going towards that. Like I was gonna play Dead Space this evening when I got home, but I was like, no, I want to start and get some more soul fragments so that I can work towards that Horror Story. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 weeks. I mean, and we should say Amanda Holiday does have bounties, and one of them is a weekly one, where if you do 15 of her bounties, so it's like 3 days worth, and they're pretty easy bounties. It's just have the mask on, pretty much,
Yeah.
and kill stuff in the haunted forest and stuff like that.
When you get
You do get
bounties for doing
40.
other stuff, so like you have to like wear the mask while doing Lost Sectors or while playing
Yeah,
Gambit or something. So it's cool. Just they just want you to wear your masks, have fun. The bad thing
yeah,
about the masks is they have no power level. So when you
yes.
put them on, they replace your helmet, and so your power level drops significantly. But you know, hey, it's fun for Halloween. It's fine.
So I don't think some people realize that, and so in Iron Banner, power level is enabled. So I faced an entire team that was running around with chicken heads on, and they were getting like two shot by everything, and I'm sure they were like, "What's going on?" Like, what? But yeah,
Oh, also,
so
just
that was
one
fun.
thing that's really cool about the Haunted Forest, when you get to the end and you're done and you're going to get your
Oh,
treasure chest, you have to run across this like stone bridge, and then like the floor starts dropping off, and if you like jump and get across, you're fine, but if you fall down in there, like it's this little like pit area, and there's this
yeah,
enemy in there that'll just kill you over and over again. And like me and
yeah,
Jess were playing and we were stuck in there. We're like, oh my God, what is this? Is hilarious. Like, but then we figured out there was a window and you could jump out of that and get back up and
yeah.
go get your treasure chest. But it's really funny that they put that in there and you can get stuck down there getting attacked. It's fun.
Right. So, time for a topic of the show.
Oh my God.
So this is the 33rd podcast, and this is releasing on October 22nd. And if you catch the theme here, we're about to do our top 11 favorite horror games of all time. Uh,
Yay!
Sam really likes the number 11, apparently, and multiples of it.
I
So,
just like when, things do fun
yeah,
things. So I saw 33rd, 33, 22. I was like, can't we just do 11?
33rd.
33rd. Yeah, we were just going to do our individual top 5 lists, but then I was like, what if we just put it together and made it 11 so that we could just have this synchronicity? I think would be fantastic. So, yeah. And Cody's a good sport because he's willing to play along. So, thank you, sir.
Exactly. All right. So at number 11, we have Killing Floor 2. I remember Sam told me about this game when it was free on PS Plus. I was like, we'll give it a shot. We'll have a community night for it, stuff like that. Didn't realize just how much fun this game would bring us as like a group. Because like it is a lot of fun. Like things it's got going for it. Zombie horde modes. Heavy metal soundtrack that's kick ass to listen to.
It's true.
They add new stuff to it all the time. Like I think the Halloween event's going on right now. We should really hop in there and play
God,
it.
we need to play that. We should have had a
I think
community
they
night
added
for
a new
that.
map again, and like
We're falling down
yeah,
on the job. Too
um,
much stuff to play.
we are too much. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy Killing Floor 2. It's a lot of fun. What about you, Sam?
I was just gonna say also like it's one where they've got the different classes, so like you get a
Oh
well-rounded
yeah,
team. Like I usually play the healer because I like to get my perks where when I heal other people, it heals me as well. So it's pretty selfish.
yeah,
But and then they do a fun thing for their events where like you're already fighting like zombie creatures, but they give them different skins for the different
yeah,
events, and it's just so much fun. So like you get zombies in like clown outfits and different things, and it's just like it's a lot of fun. You get fun outfits for your characters as well. I remember we had a blast last Christmas. We did the Christmas event, and we all got our holiday pajamas matching. That was fantastic.
We should say there's a story to getting those Halloween pajamas because Cody had to solo a boss at the end. And it took like 30 minutes.
It took
And I was so
forever.
mad we didn't capture it on camera.
Everybody else died, and he just like had to keep going and like running and trying to heal himself and like trying to whittle this boss down so that we could get our holiday pajamas.
I
Because it was like
I
on
was
the
not
hard
content.
mode, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cabin Fever 2 is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Highly recommend it.
yeah.
All right. Number 10 is Doom. This game is just like, I've talked about it before. It's a super fun shooter. You've got fun creatures that you're battling as you're going through Mars, I think is where you are, and then like,
Yes.
sometimes you'll be in hell, and it's again got the heavy metal soundtrack, which I guess you're picking up on a theme here. Cody and I like our
Yeah.
heavy metal in games. Um, but yeah, it's just so fluid. It's a fast moving game. It's kind of nonstop action. Um, and I mean, there's no what can you not like about Doom? It's just great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Resident Evil 5. Uh, I really like this game a lot. Like, the creature designs are really creepy looking. Like the baghead guy that we ended up fighting, like in our second episode,
Yeah.
that destroyed me right at the start. Um, at the end, the giant, like, weird tentacle monster we had to fight. Like, it's just a really fun game. And then, like, it was co-op, so we got to play it together. So Resident
Yeah.
Evil 5 is a really fun game for me. What about you, Sam?
When we were talking before, I said, well, this is going to be an interesting list because there's a lot of Resident Evil on it. So next up is Resident Evil 4. And like, I've talked about this game a lot. It's my favorite game of all time. But again, it sticks with the theme. Like, there are really cool creature designs for the boss fights in this. It's just, it sets a good atmosphere. Like, it's just really
Mm,
creepy as you're walking around the different locations. I remember just like being in the castle, and like in the distance, like you would hear these enemies that kind of do this like chanting mumble. You'd be like, I know they're there somewhere. I know they're coming. Like, I haven't seen them yet. And like, you'd have to like go looking for them so you could clear the space. And I've just always had such a blast with that game. So it'll always have a place in my heart for a horror game there. So,
all right. Then next up, we have Silent Hill 3. Now, I think I've told the story about this one. I'm not sure. So in high school, buddies and I were like, "Oh, let's play a game. Like, let's stay up all night. Let's beat a game." And so my friend, Sam, you there? You froze for me.
I'm
Oh
there.
no! Oh, you were just, oh, you did not freeze. You were just very fucking still,
Well,
like a
'cause
statue.
I panicked because like we both had our lists of what we were gonna do, but then like I got confused on the numbering, and so I was like, I need
Oh,
to write down these numbers so I can
okay.
say which number we're on. So I'm sorry, that was my bad. I
You were
panicked.
just very still. I was like, oh, she froze. Oh shit. Okay, sorry about that. Silent
Sorry.
Hill 3. So buddies and I, we stayed up all night. We played one game, and we took Silent Hill 3. We played it on the Xbox 360. Um, the defining moment for this game that made me jump out of the couch I was sitting on and run to the kitchen in fear, is you get to an amusement park and you go into a haunted house, and it's got like this kind of like cheesy, like, oh, you're going to feel despair in here. Um, and so like you walk into this room, and this guy's talking about, like, I think it's a scientist, and like you're walking through the room real slow, like, and like right before you're at the exit the door, thunder crashes and a body just falls right in front of you. And like I had the controller, threw it to my friend, and just jumped off the couch and was like, "Nope, I'm done." Um, it was like we finished that game at like 6 in the morning. I can barely tell you what happened at the end. I just remember beating it, and we were just so dead tired. But yeah, Silent Hill 3, like that jump scare alone will always stick with me. One of my favorite parts. Um, so yeah, what's up next?
I was just gonna say, I know I've played a Silent Hill, but I don't remember which one. And I remember kind of liking it, but not liking that I didn't have any way to do combat, and I always just had to run. Like, this is before I grew as a gamer and was like, okay, like with doing that.
Yeah.
Which leads me to number 6, which is Outlast. So I played
Oh,
this last year, and I had played the Outlast 2 demo first and hated it because, like I said, like I had to run and like couldn't fight back, and like I just kept getting caught and killed, and I got really angry about it. But the first Outlast just seems to play a lot better, where like you are getting chased by stuff, but like you can hide easily, and it's like I could always figure out where I should be going and what I should be doing next. And this one is like the one that really kind of probably was like a bit of a turning point for me to be more open and accepting to that kind of game. It's really good. Like you have like you have like the camera mechanic where you have to, you know, use your night vision to see in the dark. You have to manage your batteries. You're in like a big building that was kind of maybe like an insane asylum or something.
It's like a sanitarium.
Yeah. So, and there's still stuff going on in there, and then like finding people in there that are not your enemies, but they're fucking weird also. So yeah. But yeah, it's a really creepy game, and I had a blast with it. So yeah, I recommend that one as well.
I've never played Outlast, but I did watch a full playthrough back in college. And the ending of that game is pretty fucking wild.
I never finished it. I need to finish it. I need to go back and finish it.
Either finish it or watch it, because the end of it's just kind of like, what just happened? Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. And so next up, we have Hellblade, one of our favorite games of all time. This game just has a creep factor to it, because like you get the voices in your ears, but then there's one stage that I don't want to spoil, but like you're going through the dark, and there are things in the dark with you, but you can't see them till you are very close to them. And I was sad because like the first time I played through this level, I think the level glitched for me, so I just walked through all of them. But then I like restarted, and like it sent me back to that level, and I played through it, and I actually had to be careful the second time, so I was glad I got to experience it. This level was so horrifying because you're just kind of like, oh god. But yeah, that entire game just like there's just creepy stuff happening all the time. There's satanic stuff. There's all this stuff going on that's like really fucks you like in the head. And you're just like, oh god. So yeah, I love Hellblade. Sam, we talk about this game all the time.
Yeah. No, I just want to say about that the dark level, it was so cool because like taking your vision away and really making you listen, which you've got the headphones on, and like you have to be like, there's a part where you have to like follow a sound to try to navigate which way to go. And like there's a little pulse that you can do to get just like a little bit of light around you briefly to help you. But like on later playthroughs, like I've played it where I'll close my eyes and just like really try to like follow the sound and just like really give into it, and it's such a great experience. So that game, we can't say enough great things about Hellblade. If you haven't tried it, you should definitely try that game. So yeah. So that should be, we are on number 4, which if I'd been doing things like liking my number system, I would have put Resident Evil 4 as 4, but I didn't do that right. So my number 4 is Resident Evil 7. This game was, you know, kind of completely different from any Resident Evil game before it. A little bit. I mean, it was going into first person, and it just went back to more like what the first one was, where it was like exploring a house. But again, this is one where I played with the headphones, and it just makes such a difference. You're in this creaky old house, you hear stuff going on. I remember being so mad at Ethan because I'm like, why did you wear hard-soled shoes to come find your wife? Why couldn't you wear some nice, quiet, rubber-soled shoes? Because I'm just clomping around everywhere. I was like, please be quiet. And then, I mean, the very first fight is with the boss battle is so intense, and it just like, man, I don't know. It's a scary, like, I love my Resident Evils, and I've had tons of fun with them, but like 7 is the first one where it really scared me. Like I was really nervous. I was really tense while I was playing it. And it just like, I love when a game can make you feel that way. So, yeah.
Speaking of tense, I guess. I didn't have a segue there. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, Friday the 13th, the game.
I like it. Tense camping. It's going there. I
Yeah,
like it.
tense. Oh yeah, tense. That's what I meant. Totally.
No, yeah,
Friday the 13th, the game. What can't be said about this game that I have said before? Um, this reintroduced me to Friday the 13th, the series, and like these movies that I grew up on. Uh, it got me my tattoo. I'm known for Jason Voorhees stuff. Like I get sent it all the time because of it. Um, I think it does something unique. Because like unlike Dead by Daylight, uh, there's more co-op action. I feel like you
hmm
can work together to fix something, like fix the boat, fix the car, call the police.
Then there's so
Um,
many different options for what you can do
yeah.
to get away to survive.
And I think like the story behind this game, how like they had a Kickstarter that like they didn't know how the Kickstarter was going to go. This game started as just called like Camp Slasher, where it wasn't even about Jason. Like they wanted to make it a Jason game, and
hmm
then the people who own the rights came to them and were like, make it a Jason game, like go for it.
That's awesome.
Um, so yeah, I think the story behind Friday the 13th is just awesome. Um, it's just fun. Like I love playing as Jason. I love playing as Counselor. Like there's like in Dead by Daylight, I kind of prefer playing as Killer just because like you're kind of overpowered in a way in that. And Friday the 13th, like I prefer either. Like I like playing as Jason a lot, obviously. Like I'm good at it. But playing as Counselor can be fun if you're playing against a good Jason. Like it's almost like a testament to how good you are at the game if you can get
Yeah.
out or not. Um, and there's just a lot of cool stuff you can do in it. Like killing Jason is like a process. And it's a lot of fun when you can do it, if you can do it legitly, or just to do it for fun, because fuck it.
Hey,
That's
why
what you
not?
do. But yeah, so many good times we had in that game. I remember the one time we played, and you had never seen the door jam kill, and like he grabbed you and just started slamming your head, and you're like, "Oh God, he's slamming my head!" And like I was dying laughing. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Uh,
There are some times where I've played that game where I have, usually when Cody's Jason, like, I'll turn around and Jason will be right there, and I've shrieked out loud because it has
oh yeah.
startled
Oh
me. So,
yeah. Like if you find a good Jason who knows how to use the sneak perk really
oh,
well,
mhm.
like I've gotten it to where like somebody will like they'll be waiting on the outside the door, and I open the door and they're just right there, and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. So yeah, I really love Friday the 13th. The game is one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, and I think it does something important too because it's a group game. You can play with eight
Yeah,
people together, so you can get a huge group of your friends together and play together, which, there aren't a ton of horror games that you can play with friends, except for the ones
yeah,
we've mentioned, like Killing Floor 2, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, but that's fine. But it's just like, it's a good uniter. Like, we've got our Friday the 13th community night coming up, and we've had, like, so many people sign up to say, hey, we want to play with you. And like nobody cared about Dead by Daylight. Like we got, I guess we'll see, but we got like two people sign up to play with us. But like everybody's excited about Friday the 13th, so it's really cool. It's just like the great unifier. It
yes,
brings people together. Yeah, it's a good game.
yeah. It brings everybody together to get
Yeah,
killed by Cody. What? I
yeah.
mean,
Huh?
play together. Yeah, play together. Yeah. What's
Oh, right, right. Okay. So, number two on the list is Dead Space 2, which I have already talked about. Now, honestly, probably Dead Space 1 is better and probably should be here, but like I said, I haven't played it lately and I can't remember, and I just know that this one is so good. But probably both of them are great and could be on this list. So, yeah.
And then our number one game that I think we both kind of decided on.
hmm
Um, this is for me, I think the top tier of horror games, and it's Until Dawn
hmm
because it is you are pretty much playing through like a 90s slasher movie almost with like an awesome twist. Um, it's just a lot of fun. I love the choice mechanic they did. Like this is the first game I can think of this type.
hmm
Um, and like it's got me excited for the next game they're making.
hmm
Man of Medan, I think is
hmm
what it's called.
Yep.
Um, like I remember when I played this, I played it with someone else, and like we both made decisions together, and like it's a game I'll always remember because of that. It's like, and I remember like I'm like, oh, if I hadn't made that choice, that person would have fucking lived. Damn it. Um,
Well, and some of it was so good. Like, there's this part where I was like, "Oh, there's this noise coming from the trap door. I know I shouldn't open it because if I do, I'm gonna get killed. But like, I kind of want to open it just to see what happens." And I'm like, "Can I sacrifice this girl to do it? Yeah, I'm okay with that." And so like, I went and opened the trap door. I knew she was gonna die, but I'm like, "This is gonna be great," and it was great. So, but yeah,
so
that.
the first
Go ahead.
first time you played it, how many people did you end up like? How many people survived?
Well, there's this part at the end where it doesn't you're not fully aware of what the consequences of your action are going to be. Unfortunately, and I know I'm not the only one who had this problem. So somebody died at the end that shouldn't have, that I really didn't intend to. It was just a horrible accident right at the end. Um, so I think I had two or three people left over at the end. Maybe.
I think I ended up with four.
Okay.
Because there's eight people in total, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I ended up with four in my last one because that part where you have to hold it and it's like, don't shake
Oh
it.
yeah.
And like for some reason it just registered me holding it as like me going, hey, how's it going? Shaking it all around. And so the monster turned and ate me. And I was like, fuck.
No,
So
that
I think I
sucks.
ended up with just four people left.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, we should play again, and I should just try to keep everyone alive. And I was like, no, I'm good. I like my first
No.
experience with
Oh
that. Like,
yeah.
I don't need to go back and play it again. Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
I just Googled like what the other stuff was. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Um,
I
yeah, Until Dawn, like, I think it's it was such an original idea, and
mhm.
they killed it. Like, it was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so ready for Man of Medan to be here. Like, in 2019 already. Like, let's go.
So I might have said this before, but Until Dawn was the first game I played on my PS4. Like
Oh.
I'd heard about this game and I'd been super excited about it and always wanted to play it, but I didn't have a PS4 and I'm like, well, whatever. It's just it sucks, um but so as soon as I knew I was getting the PS4, like as soon as I ordered it, like I had Until Dawn scheduled up for my GameFly. I'm like, I'm getting it in the mail. I like have it ready and waiting to go. And it was such a blast. Like they just did such a good job. Like you feel like you are in a horror movie, and it's
Yeah.
just I don't know. If you haven't played it, you should play it, even if you're kind of scared by horror stuff. It's worth it. It's a fun one. There's some jump
Play with someone
scares.
else.
Play with someone
Because it's
else.
a lot of fun to have someone else there making decisions with you. Like, oh, we should do this.
Yeah, do share play. You can play with a buddy. It'll be fine. But yeah, it's a real good
So that
game.
was our top 11. But we got some listener ones. We reached out and asked for
Right.
some listener answers. So Sam, why don't you tell us the first one from our good friend Byron?
Well, Byron usually gets gold stars from me because he's a pretty good guy. He's a pretty smart guy. He's real good with knowing things. And so what he said, favorite horror game of all time, Resident Evil 2. Good, I approve, Byron. Anyone who loves Resident
Sucking
Evil,
up to the
such
teacher,
a
Byron. I see how it
good job,
is.
buddy. Good job.
All right. And my brother Chad said Doom for the Super Nintendo, which was a red cartridge, which was different because usually all of them were gray. And I'm pretty sure I remember this cartridge. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we still had it for a very long time. So yeah.
Well, and he told the story that he had trouble getting to buy it because his parents were afraid it was too mature of a game and didn't want to buy it. Uh oh.
He told the story, and I'm like, these are the same parents that would just buy me Call of Duty and GTA games all the time. Like, what? Like, I'm so confused. You guys just
Oh.
stopped caring at some point? The cartridges weren't red. The CDs weren't red. That was the issue.
Well, also, yes, but Call of Duty was a war game. Grand Theft
Okay,
Auto was whatever in the city. Like Doom is dealing with demons and stuff. They don't know what the games are about. Probably they just like
good point.
see a cover or something and are like, I don't know. So okay. Next, Megs said that her favorite horror game is Inside, which I've played it. And the most horrifying thing about that game for me was the freaking puzzles because I could not figure them out and I would get so angry. But it's a good game. So, yeah.
I've never played that or Limbo. That was to say the most terrifying part about Limbo is the giant spider, because fuck that noise.
Limbo is so good as well. Like, I was mostly okay with those puzzles. I had to Google some of them, but it's a real good game. You should definitely play Limbo too.
Alright. And then our good friend Alejandro.
Alejandro also gets some gold stars.
For both of us, really, because
Yeah.
he's a tie as Resident Evil 4 and Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
So good for him.
He's sucking up to
Those
everybody.
both good games.
That's why we like him so much. He just covers all his bases. So I think he also mentioned his runners up were Fear and System Shock 2,
System Shock?
which I've never
Yeah.
played that, but I think I've
Heard
heard
of
of it.
Fear. I've heard of Fear, and I remember the cover of that being really creepy. Does it
Pretty
say like this girl's face? And
Yeah.
like,
I'm pretty sure that I've played Fear 3 and I enjoyed it, but I don't remember very much of it. But I do remember I think there was a creepy girl. So, I don't know. Yeah. And finally, our friend Melissa said the original Bioshock. So, it's kind
I
of.
mean, there's some very scary moments in that game. I like the first two Bioshocks a lot, so yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
I, I didn't super care for Bioshock. And, like, I can't even remember if I finished the game or not.
The only one I've never played, I started playing through PS Now
Hmm.
when it was the streaming thing. I started playing the third one, but I beat the first two. Could not tell you what the story was. I think some guy made a city drown. Not really sure. But
It's Atlantis. It's like the underwater. It's like an underwater world, but it's like in the 40s or 50s. It's weird.
yeah, couldn't tell you. Just know I like the Big Daddies. They're cool looking.
Oh, that's what she said.
Giant. All right, you know what? Now that's what we're gonna end the show. Pretty good show. All right. So, quick reminder that if you want to be entered into that giveaway for the Ace of Spades, remember to comment on the post on Twitter. There's also a post on Facebook, is there not?
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
Just Twitter. We're just doing Twitter for
so
this giveaway.
hard. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Just Twitter.
Yeah, we're just doing Twitter. So remember to comment.
Okay, well, how about
Coming
this?
home Ace.
You can comment on Twitter, or you can email us and send us an email, and
Yeah, okay,
that
that
could
works,
be
yeah.
okay. If you don't want to, if you don't do
Yeah,
Twitter,
some people
send
don't
us
use
an
Twitter.
email. It's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
So just remember, I'm coming home Ace, just a sentence, and you're good.
If you
you
misspell
wanna
it,
do
you're
that.
out. You don't get to enter.
Yeah, if you got to find out, is it coming home with just an N or a G at the end? So if you're going to contact us, we're contact@geekcardgames.com. On Twitter and Facebook, we are geekcardgames, @geekcardgames. Our Twitch streams can be found at twitch.tv/geekcardgames. Be sure to join us this Friday for the Friday 13th Community Night and Extra Life later this or next month. We have our YouTube channel at geekcardgames.com/YouTube. Two Guardians going strong. A lot of fun there. And then you can join our Discord at geekcardgames.com/Discord. Lots of fun stuff there. I stopped doing my 21 days of horror because I was like, oh, I don't even know what to do at this point. I should get back on that.
You should get back on that. You've only got a few days
you'd like
left.
to
It'll
buy-
be fine.
If you'd like to buy a shirt, you can buy a shirt at geekcardgames.com/shirts. If you'd be so kind and leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, whatever you're using, we greatly appreciate it. Anything else, Sam?
No.
Okay. I am at Comic Book Cody. Sam,
I'm at SKSUVAK.
thank you guys so much for listening. We greatly appreciate it. And sneak peek for next week, we're talking all things horror video games. Dun 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 dun. Take it away, Sam.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Happy birthday, Alejandro. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Sam.
What?
What are you wearing?
Do you not like it?
What is that supposed to be? Is it a monkey?
Does it not look like a monkey?
I mean, it could be a monkey or like I'm trying to think of what it was. No, it's meant to be a monkey because I'm thinking of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Whoops.
Is that your Halloween costume, or did you just have that lying around?
I just had this lying around, you know.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it'd be fun. Pop it out, surprise you.
Okay, alright.
Alright, it's really hot. I'm gonna take it off.